What is up everyone, this is TSD Reviews and Stuff back here with another video, and today I will be doing a 1 month review on the Pixel 4a. So I've already done an unboxing video and my first impressions on that. If you do want to check it out, you can click the link card right here. And ever since I did my first impressions, a few of my opinions have already changed, so I will be talking about them too. And I will be talking about some important points such as how's the build quality holding up, the size of this thing, how do I like it, the display quality, the speakers, battery life, performance, software with the little bugs in there, and camera. And also I will be talking about whether this thing is worth the price, especially in India, and whether this thing a good upgrade over your older Pixels or any older phone that you already have. So first of all, let's just talk about how the build quality is holding up. So the back is as you can see, it's made out of plastic, and it actually feels really nice. It is not a cheap plastic like many people think. It's a matte finish plastic with a soft touch to it, so it might feel a bit slippery, or if you think this is a little too slippery for you, you can even put a case at the back. I've done some reviews on the cases, so you can check them out. Again, I'll leave the card right here. And also the build quality is for the back is doing really well, and I don't notice any scratches or stuff like that. Yes, it does get a bit dirty over time. You just have to clean this up with a microfiber cloth and it'll be as good as new. So I've been rolling with this phone with the cases, so I really haven't experienced any scratches. But the problem is with the camera module. It has a hairline scratch. Now I don't know if you can see that. Let me just focus here. I don't think you can spot that, but it's somewhere here. And but yes, what I would recommend is putting on a screen a protector for the camera module, which you can get online, or even put a skin on it. So I've already ordered a skin. That's the honeycomb pattern from Gadget Shield. I know the name is different. I think it's called, I don't remember what it exactly is. I'll just write it here. But it's a honeycomb pattern design, which I feel is going to look really good with this, and is going to prevent your camera module and your back from attracting any scratches, so you can even use this phone without a case. Now let's talk about your screen. So the screen unfortunately has a few hairline scratches. At first I just noticed only one hairline scratch, but you know, after a while, maybe a couple of days, I started to notice quite a few hairline scratches. So in my opinion, if you want to protect your screen, you have to have a tempered glass screen protector. Not just any other screen protector, but a tempered glass screen protector. I've already done a review on this and the installation process. You can check it out. Again, I'll leave it right here in the card. You can check it out. And I feel that it's I think this screen protector is doing a really good job, and I don't have any issues with it. So I think this will be good enough for you to protect your phone. And that's pretty much about the build quality. So overall, I don't have any issues with this, so I think you're going to be good to go with this phone in terms of durability. Now let's talk about the size. And I have to say, this is one of the best things about this phone. It's the size. This size is super comfortable. It is by far the most ideal size for majority of the users. Now after using the iPhone XR, I feel, and when I used it again after using this phone, I felt that the phone was quite wide. I didn't feel that earlier, but I don't know, it's just that I probably have realized that the screens of around 5.4 to 5.8 inch are perfect for my size. Now, I got pretty big hands. Sorry guys, I had a call in between. But yes, what I wanted to say was that the size, is really comfortable, and you're definitely going to like this. And it's actually pretty refreshing. It's a very refreshing form factor, and I feel that more companies should start manufacturing phones of this size, because this is the size, trust me when I tell you, this is the size that majority of the consumers are going to love. And yes, again, I really love this phone. The size of this is just great. And instead of making just 6.8, 6.9 inch phones, they need to focus on small phones too, just like Apple did with the iPhone 12 mini. So that's about the size. And now let's talk about the display quality. The display is absolutely fantastic. I mean, this phone is just beautiful to look at. I'm really loving the display, and the text on this phone is really sharp thanks to that 443 pixels per inch density. And the colors, I have to say, are beautiful. They are on the cooler side slightly, but trust me, when you use this phone for a while, you will get used to it really quick, and you're gonna love this display. And trust me guys, you're not going to be disappointed with this display at all. But there's just one issue here that I wanted to discuss, and that is the rainbow effect. Now this basically is what this means is, if you hold your phone at some extreme angle, something like that, and you have a very light colored background, you will not see some different colors appearing on the screen. Now I've tested that thing with the Asus ROG Phone 3 also, and I feel that this is pretty common in OLED screens at this price. Now I didn't notice the same with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus nor the S8, so I think they are an exception, or even the iPhone screen. But I have to say that at these angles, I mean, nobody uses the phone here, so I don't think this is going to be a con. And by the way, you're going to be very used to this screen, so you won't have any issues at all, trust me. So overall, I am extremely happy with the display quality. The text looks sharp, the colors are brilliant, and the resolution I think is pretty apt for this size, so that's why you get that high pixel density. So now let's talk about the speakers, and I have to say, let me make this thing clear. This phone has proper stereo speaker setup. You have your secondary speaker at the earpiece, and you have your main speaker at the bottom. Now, many people said that even if you cover the top earpiece, you won't notice a difference. Well, that's not the case. I did try with different songs, and I can easily say that the top earpiece acts as a proper stereo speaker and secondary speaker, and I feel that the dual speakers here are great. These speakers may not be the most bass heavy ones, but definitely these are a proper stereo speaker setup, and I really love these speakers. The mids, highs are great. The lows might be lacking a bit, but definitely I feel that the overall quality is great and you will not be disappointed at all. And they do get pretty loud, so that's also good. Next, let's talk about the battery. Now, if you've seen my unboxing video, you probably have noticed me saying that the battery is not that great on this phone. But from my own usage after a while, I feel that the battery life is decent. Now, it's not the best battery life, obviously. It's not going to be like a 6000 milliamp hour battery, like for example on Asus ROG Phone 3, which I already have. That is a complete monster. But this phone, I mean, for your daily usage, you will not notice a big difference. I feel that if you charge it in the morning, then you will, for a casual user, I'm saying this, if you charge it in the morning, and if you like, let's say you work till, I'd say 8 or 9, you will be left with, I'd say, around 10-15%, but that completely depends on the way you use your phone. Like for every other person, it depends on the way they use their phone. So like for example, I'm consistently getting 5.5 hours of screen on time, which I feel is not bad for the phone of this size, especially with the battery capacity of 3140. Because if you compare the same battery capacity with any other phone, the Google Pixel 4a will definitely do a better job because of all the optimization that Google has done with the Pixel 4a. So overall, I feel that battery life is not that bad, although I have disabled that lift to wake because I feel that unnecessarily consumes a lot of battery life, and I personally find that a little irritating. Now I do have the always on display, as you can see. So I've been using always on display, tap to wake. So in spite of using those gestures, I feel that the battery life is pretty solid on this. And one day I just got like around 13 hours of screen on time, which I felt that was completely insane. Then I later realized that I hardly used that phone during that day. So yeah, but consistently I'm getting 5.5 hours screen on time. And yes, if you play a lot of games, then yes, the battery life will dip to quite a decent amount of extent. But overall, for like casual users and for your just general users, I don't feel that the battery life is going to be disappointing. It's going to be great. You're going to get through the end of the day with ease. Now let's talk about the performance, and now I'm going to be strictly talking about gaming, because in terms of gaming, I feel that the 730G does a pretty good job. Now I'm not saying this does a phenomenal job, no. I have the Asus ROG Phone 3 and I play like Call of Duty Mobile on that too, and that's a Snapdragon 865 Plus. And yes, you know, that is where and when your CPU and your GPU matter a lot, especially in gaming. So yeah, the 865 Plus definitely does a lot better than the 730G, but the gaming experience is not bad at all on this phone. It's actually pretty good. Now, of course, you're not going to get 60 FPS frame rates. Maybe by dropping in the resolution, then definitely you can get a good amount of frame rates. But again, this phone is not a gamer's delight, nor this is targeting the gamer audience. If you're a general user and basically like to play some games, but you're not a hardcore gamer, then definitely this phone is not going to provide you with any problems. So I feel in that specific area, the Pixel 4a does a good job, and 730G is pretty capable actually, and Google has proved that with the stock Android. So basically it does a lot better job on this light skin, which brings me to my next point, and that is the software. Now this is obviously, it's a Pixel product, so you know what to expect. A clean vanilla stock Android experience, no bloatware at all, simple and straightforward UI, nothing complicated, no crazy no crazy features or customization options. It is, like I said, it is a really light skin, and it helps the 730G to perform really well. And yes, now this phone has a few bugs that I will mention later too. There are few. There's one in the camera, there's one in the lock screen, and there are few in the gesture navigation and, you know, those sort of things. And they may be quite irritating to you. Personally, I was like really irritated, and I just hope Google brings those fixes, and I will be discussing about that too just now. So as you can see in the screen, this is the lock screen, and I try to open an app from the lock screen by entering my password or my fingerprint sensor, and once I open it, you can see this gray tint on the screen, and then after like 5 seconds the app opens up. Now this is specifically consistent for the Twitter. I didn't experience this same with any other app, but yes, for Twitter this is very consistent. And now I wanted to talk about the biggest bug I've been facing with the phone, and that's in the camera app. This camera app, this is just crazy. All right, the bug, this specific bug can really ruin your overall experience of using this camera. And this bug is basically, you can see from the video that I open my camera and I just go to my recent photos and I try to delete the photo, and what happens is, once I delete my first photo, all right, it jumps to the third photo instead of the second. It freezes for like 4 seconds and then it jumps back to the skipped photo. So that is very consistent with this phone. I don't know why. This has the camera 8.1 version. This is the latest one, but still I haven't seen any update where, and also many people aren't even talking about this bug. Like, I have noticed a few people talking about this, but I don't know why others aren't even talking about this. Maybe they're not facing the same issues. Maybe I'm one of those unlucky people who are facing this issue with the Pixel 4a, but I got in touch with Google too, and they said that just leave the feedback in the Pixel only. There is a option to just leave your feedback and just give them your whatever issues you be having. Now I tried all the troubleshooting methods, nothing happened. It still has the same consistent issue, because that specific issue where it lags in the camera app while deleting the photo, it does not happen the same with the photos. Like if I go on photos, I can just rapidly delete all of the photos, so that is not a big issue there. But yes, in the camera app, definitely Google needs to improve on the software. Just make the Android a lot more stable on the Pixel 4a, because overall I feel that the Android 11 is the main concern on this phone. Like I won't necessarily blame the Snapdragon 730G, because for gaming it does a pretty good job, and that is a very, I'd say, intensive area where the GPU and CPU have to work harder. But this, just going through the phone, opening apps and stuff, where there are quite a few lags and hiccups, I would definitely blame the software, and Google needs to make the software a lot more stable for the Pixel 4a. Now I just hope that the future updates that are coming to this phone, they'll just fix it, like the December security patch. I haven't received it as of now. I just hope that it brings a few fixes to the Pixel 4a, which will make the experience a lot more smoother and I'd say lag free. So that is about the software, and now let's talk about the camera. And because this is a Pixel phone, you are expecting a great camera, and spoiler alert, this is a great camera. I love it, but I'd say it's still not perfect. Now the photos, the still shots are just phenomenally good. Alright, this can easily go against the iPhone 12 mini, and in some situations I would still prefer the Pixel 4a because of its natural I'd say signature to the photos. The photos just look so natural. The colors are true to life. Dynamic range is also true to life. Basically everything you would wish about the phone, it will have true to life sharpness and high contrast. I feel that this phone has, and this is definitely not going to disappoint you at all. You will be amazed to see this camera. Now, like I said, this camera isn't perfect and there are some issues here. Now I will be talking about a few of the issues, and so the first issue is, I'd say, the portrait mode. And the portrait mode, I have to say it, guys, the Pixel 4a does not do a good job at all. I have to just be 100% honest with this. The edge detection it is consistently not accurate, and the blur effect is so unnatural. It just literally artificially blurs. Of course it is computational photography, but Google is not focusing a lot on the portrait mode, because from my own experience, as you can see the pictures, there is a lot of inconsistency when it comes to the portrait mode on the Pixel 4a. Now I did see the comparison with the Pixel 5, and I guess the Pixel 5 does a lot better job with this by maintaining that good bokeh effect, and that is what a real portrait photo means. A real portrait photo should have a true to life bokeh effect, whereas the Pixel 4a, it just looks so artificial that I really don't like. So I mean, definitely I would say that this is not that great when it comes to portrait mode. And the other issue I have with this phone is the front camera. The front camera is also pretty much not even at par with the rear camera. I guess this camera is where the price of this phone is. So around this price, you will see that this camera performs at par with the phones of this price range. So that necessarily does not mean it's bad, but the problem is that the camera has fixed focus. So that means you have to stay away at least 16 inches from the camera in order to have a good selfie. And now from my testing, there is hardly any post-processing going on with the front camera. It just looks so soft, and the noise, it only reduces the noise, and just everything, the details, the sharpness, it's not there with the front camera. And I don't know why Google hasn't done a lot with the front camera. I mean, they could do wonders with that. And I compared it with the iPhone 12 mini, and the camera, well, it just doesn't look good at all. Now here is the example why I'm saying the fixed focus is a liability here. Is if you can see this image, this is taken on with just before the post-processing, and this image is taken after the post-processing. So you did notice that my face has become a lot more spherical, and it just looks a lot more, I'd say, swollen. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I mean, this is just a photo I took it randomly, and I didn't really like the way the post-processing works on this phone. There's hardly any post-processing, so I feel that the front camera is pretty much useless on this phone. I mean, it's not like, right, the camera is not like you can't use it, but I feel that Google could have done a lot better job. I mean, they could have done wonders with the front camera, but I guess they didn't want to do it for some odd reason. I hope in the future updates they do fix it. And yes, now let's talk about the video quality. I forgot to do that, but guys, the video on this phone is just nuts. All right, the video quality is insane in daytime. The only issue I have is with the exposure levels, where sometimes this video suddenly just brightens up and just blows everything out, all the highlights, but suddenly it just maintains that exposure level. So I feel that Google could do something about the exposure level with the software. And like I compared it with the iPhone 12 mini, and the iPhone 12 mini maintains that good consistent exposure, which makes the video look a lot more natural. But in terms of colors, in terms of details, sharpness and dynamic range, I feel this phone is so good. I mean, I think they did a lot better job than the previous Pixels. Now, I didn't use the previous Pixel like the 3A or the 3 or the 4, but from the reviews I've seen, definitely I feel that this phone has done phenomenally well when it comes to video. And also the mics on this thing are crazy good. They're really, really loud, and they can hear your voice perfectly. In daytime, this phone does very well. It is on par with the iPhone 12 mini. Yes, the stabilization is more consistent on the iPhone 12 mini and also previous generations, but I feel that video is where Google is improving on, and I feel that where they could actually improve on is the video capability in low light conditions, because in those times you will notice a lot of noise, and the image and the video will be a lot softer, and it won't maintain that much of detail and colors, whereas the iPhones will do a lot better job. But definitely not bad video quality in daylight time. I think it's great, wonderful. And also let's talk about the night side, because the night side is just crazy on this. It brightens up the entire image while maintaining the sharpness and the colors, and that is where I feel Google did it really well with the Pixel 4a, and I'm really liking it. Also, the astrophotography mode is here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get some good photography photos because I couldn't get any good photos from that because the place where I live is just very cloudy, and it's a lot more due to the pollution, the sky is not clear, and also because of excessive lighting, I cannot see that many stars, and it just looks a lot grayish, and it's not that clear. But definitely, if I have the option, maybe in summers, this camera will do wonders when it comes to astrophotography mode, and it is there. And also, I wanted to talk about the new features which come with the latest camera, Gcam 8.1. So in here, it's not a big, I'd say, change. It's just basically changes in the UI design and just making things a lot more simpler for you. So like for example, Google has added a 2x zoom for here. Now this is not a digital zoom, this is just this is not the optical zoom, digital, because it just has one camera. So yeah, it is what it is. But yes, I think this is a good thing that they added here instead of just digitally zooming it manually. So in video you have your again 2x mode and 1x, and here you have your slow motion. Here you have a slow motion where it actually also tells you where good for fast move. As you can see, it tells you for which situations which modes are best, and here they also tell you good for dramatic speed low. This is for your like time lapse. So for different occasions and different specific video, whichever video you want to make, it has those options for you too. And here they have also added the cinematic pan, which is really good actually. It is pretty capable. Now it is pretty noisy, I'd say, but I haven't really tried it in daytime, but if I get the chance, definitely I will. And overall, from my own experience, this is a really good feature and a handy feature. Like, you want to have those professional film photos, professional videos, but you don't have the technical know on how to do that. The software will do it for you. Just click on cinematic pan. Now this will not record your voice. This is just a more cinematic video experience that you will be getting, and basically you can add your own background music like you see in the movies. And in the more option, you have your panorama and your photosphere and lens. So as you can see, they have decreased the amount of options here because they've already added that in the video. And also in the night side, they have added this. You can also turn off astrophotography. As you can see, you have the ability to do that. And in spite of putting this on a tripod, it will not trigger on the astrophotography mode if you turn this thing off. So basically that's pretty much it. It's nothing crazy. It's just I'd say just a mini ramp up. All right, they haven't done quite a lot with the camera, and basically what they need to do is work on the camera app for the Pixel 4a because it is crazy buggy. So that is the end of the technical specifications and how this phone is actually holding up. Now, is this phone worth the price, especially in India? Definitely yes, this phone is worth it, and especially for the price of 32,000, I think this phone is great compared to its previous Pixels where they were like almost 15,000 rupees more expensive than the American price. So I think Google has done an incredible job. They learned from the previous mistakes, and it's right now available on Flipkart. You can go ahead buy that. And if you're living in USA, then no problem. I mean, you're getting this phone at what, $349, and even cheaper with probably some trade-ins and your carrier-based offers. So I think you can get this pretty cheap, and it's really worth it. Definitely, this is like, I have to say that for this price range, this is the best phone you can pick up right now. Of course, you got the Nord, but personally, I won't really recommend getting the Nord because it misses out on quite a few features like the headphone jack, very important. But there are also quite a few features like high refresh rate. Fine, it's good, but it's not a game changer, to be honest. Like, I've used the 144 Hz refresh rate on the Asus ROG Phone 3, and it's not a game changer. Personally, it's just cool to see, but after a while you get pretty much used to it. And this phone is really smooth when it comes to the basically all gesture navigation, all that stuff. Yes, there are a few bugs, but I hope Google will fix them, and I hope you all will also force Google to fix these issues as soon as possible by hitting them up on Twitter, on their Google forums, and all that stuff, sort of things, so that it will come to Google's attention. So guys, if you have a Pixel 3a or maybe older Pixels like the Pixel 2 and you want an upgrade, this phone is worth it because this is pretty much an upgrade, especially for the Pixel 3a users. This phone is a full upgrade on almost all factors except for one thing, and that is the squeeze to activate Google Assistant. Rest, other than that, everything is just a full upgrade on this, and you're definitely going to love this one. And I'm just hoping that Google fixes all the software bugs in the Pixel 4a with future updates, and I feel this phone is going to be performing really, really well, and it's not going to disappoint any one of you. So guys, that's pretty much it with this 1 month review. I will be also ordering a skin for this. I've actually pre-ordered it. It will come at around 12th or 13th December, so I'll wait for it till then. And if you have any other questions, you can hit me up on Instagram or even on the comment section. I reply to each and every comment, so you can just hit me up there, or if you have any doubts, you can just hit me up on Instagram. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I will see you soon with the unboxing and application of the screen protector, and hope to see you soon, guys. Peace out.